We're pulling... Oh, yes. So this is going to be a wipe. That's cool. Hello ballers, what's going on? It's Preacher and it's time to start getting into some gameplay. Been toying with how to do it. I think I'm going to do it this way, which is where I can talk to you guys. So I'm not streaming right now. This isn't a stream rip or anything like that. We're going to be doing a pug series as best we can. As a tank to kick it off with, it's going to be a little bit easier. We're going to be doing a Court of Stars +7. I decided to pug it because... who knows, man? Maybe we'll see some funny stuff. And maybe that'll make it a little bit more interesting as a series. Who knows what kind of shenanigans we can get into. But it also means that I'm not playing with people who are going to be doing things correctly a lot of the time. More than likely, right? I can't rely on certain stuff, which a lot of tanks do. This is also a cool way of me addressing some feedback that we had when we've released the initial guide, which is obviously going to be very important because a lot of people have very contrasting views on how you would approach teaching people some World of Warcraft. So I think this is going to be a good way of doing it. At the moment, I'm almost there, but we don't have a 5th DPS. I believe there's a healer in the group. So everything should be fine and dandy, so... let me know. Let me know. This is the first one in the series. I think it'd be quite cool. If you're wondering about the dad t-shirt, I've just got back from my son's award ceremony, and my wife asked me to wear the dad t-shirt. Fun time. So let's get into it. All right, we got ourselves a mage. We're good to go, I think. I've just summoned everybody here. We should be good. So +7, and this week's are... bolstering and explosive. So I'm going to be, you should know this, so as a tank, you're going to be dealing with the explosives. So I'm going to take a flask. My tank's pretty good, actually. The gear I'm going to run with is this setup, so we're 906, more than enough for this. I'm going to take my speed stuff, though. So I've got Cephas. And I got my speedy boots. I do have the bone shield legs as well. But this is what I'm going to run with for this one. Purely just for a bit of pace, that kind of thing. And just doing some extra damage, blah, 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 blah. Usual stuff. The talent setup I'm going to run with is the bog standard dungeon setup. So I could take Bone Storm here. There are some decent AoE packs where I could put out some big damage. But one, this is a pure pug, right? Which is the kind of the fun of the whole thing. It is fun for me anyway. So I don't know if we're going to be getting stuns, which is why I'm taking Tremble before me. We should be okay with that. I don't know if the healer's going to be any good. I don't know if there's going to be a DPS or anything. Truth be told, this is the second time I'm recording the Blood DK one. And the first one was actually really funny. I got tricked into joining a carry run for a warrior who must have been about 790 item level and was doing like 100k damage. You can actually see here, there it is in the damage meter, Bengal Hero. That's his boss damage for the final fight in Neltharion 6. What is our man Bengal Hero doing? Tell me your story, Bengal Hero. Am I on the right thing before we start taking the piss? I am on the right thing. So our Bengal Hero managed 127,000 DPS against the boss, which is a little worrying. Where is Bengal? Can we kill it before it? He's dying, but I don't even think he's... yeah, look. It's crazy. With executes and stuff? 250k? I've got to check, dude. What's going on? Are you broken? Oh, he's all greens. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm sure there was a prize pool going in the YouTube comments. Any of you have that? He did 3 million damage, the poor lad. But it turned out it was actually a carry run for him. It was labelled as like a quick 3-chest run. Which was pretty cool. So that's the way that turned out to be. So let's talk about the obvious thing. So when the Blood DK guide came out, a lot of people, not a lot of people actually, overwhelmingly positive, except for the very loud voices in the comments. So let's talk about them now. Why do I talk about talents that you should never ever take? Because you might be taking them if they patch something in and suddenly you have to play with it. I want people to be aware of things. So the best feedback we had from a lot of guys was finally, they were able, when strangers started telling people, like, you should be specced into this, mate, they had the confidence to go, no, actually, I know my DK, and this is what I want to spec into for this fight, and it working out really well. That's the kind of feedback I want. So I've actually put a lot of effort into this DK over the last couple of weeks. I've just fell in love with blood tanking. It was my favorite tank all through most of Legion. When people asked me what's my favorite tank, it was the blood tank. And I've tanked Tomb a couple of times, had some really good fun on Kill Jaden, got some gear upgrades, which allowed me to swap out of Rune Tap for Fell Claws. So the first time I tanked it, I needed Rune Tap. The second time, though, I went with Foul Bulwark instead. So I just had, all the extra health, which was really nice. That made the whole run much, much smoother, which was good. Did they start? No. Okay, so I'm going to skip ahead till we start. Okay, we're finally going. That took a long time, by the way. So I'm a little curious about our Warlock here. Our Warlock apparently took 25 seconds to load the instance from clicking enter the portal or walking through the portal. So how that's going to pay off, I don't know. So this is the interesting thing, because obviously I'm still treating this as kind of a guide, which is the whole point, as a tanking guide. So we're going to be doing some blood DK stuff, and we're also going to be looking at it as a tank guide. So what do I teach people? This is why I do pugs. I actually truly honestly believe you learn to be a much better tanking with randoms than you do with your friends. Because with your friends, like talents like Tremble Before Me are going to be garbage, because you'll be able to say, can you stun these please? And they're going to get stunned. Whereas in a pug, who the fuck knows? We might get lucky, we might not. But also how you assess how to tank. I talked at length in a video series on tanking, which I hope you guys watch, about analyzing your group very quickly, and that will determine the decisions that you're going to make for the rest of the dungeon. So in this one, we have Grievous and Bolstering. Oh, it's not explosive. I thought it was explosive this week. Never mind. That would have been more fun. I will do another Blood DK video when we do... when Necrotic's back up. When Necrotic's back up. I know Blood DKs are still having trouble with that. We did already do the +10 back in the day. The +10 with Necrotic. But we'll still see what's going on. So what are we deciding here? Damage is... Where's our mage? So our mage hasn't done anything yet. So we're going to not read too much into that. Maybe he's doing something? I don't know. I don't know. But what's my primary job here? One, to control the group. I was actually hoping it was explosive so I could focus on that a little bit. And also, as the tank on a bolstering week, our job is pretty simple. We need to make sure we don't over-bolster things. And we're going to do that by trying to lead our group merrily through nice pulls. Yeah, we want to make sure that we're doing pulls that our group isn't going to be like, oh, hey, cool. Let's pull 2 of these then. You know, stuff like this, which may happen in your friends' groups, whatever. But for now, we're going to be doing this. Use that wonderful blood elf racial there to make sure everything's cool. Oh, we're pulling... Oh, yes. So this is going to be a wipe. That's cool. But at least we can kind of see what's going on. Maybe not. Maybe if the AoE is really good, we can not over-bolster everything, but I guarantee people are going to AoE the shit out of this. We'll see, man. This is interesting. So what we're going to do is wait till the bolster gets really high before we start going to full defensive, right? So this is cool for tanking. So this guy's got this on. So now I'm going to vamp here. Everything's pretty much as bolstered as it's going to get. Now, the big issue we have here, of course, is it might just take too fucking long to actually do anything. So I'm going to res our DK. He's going to put out some good damage here. These are all healing with the charging station, so that sucks. That sucks. Why do we pull all? That's a good question. That's a good question, but this is why we do the pug runs, right? Because who knows? Would we have expected this situation? No. Would we have expected this situation? No. So let's type, let it reset. Let's do it again. Oh, well, at least we killed something. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Let it reset. But there you go. This is all the fun of being in a pug. This is why I think it's more entertaining video series as well. Oh, the sentry's been alerted. Good. Good. Well, I'm not going to grip it until the stun's over. Ah, well, we better get in there. So I would have my grip ready for the sentry to run over. But still, let's keep pulling, because this is the interesting thing. I think even though Blizzard has got rid of the timer, I think people still swear to God by that timer because they want that sweet, sweet +3 loot. Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Now, a part of me here just wants to do this. And I'll tell you why. Because even though we've killed all the big trash around there, there's patrols and stuff, I'm basing a lot, probably too much, on what we just saw with people ninja pulling extra stuff. I'm kind of going to play a little bit more cautiously than I ordinarily would, right? That ninja pull at the start has already put me in the mindset that maybe there's going to be some extra ninja pulls. Maybe. So I'm going to pull back here. He's gripped it. Good. I've got big grip ready should I need it. In fact, I've got this one, so I'm going to pull him over here. Yeah, hopefully people realize that sentries are bad. Now, I am playing with ossuary, so I'm going to be trying to, at best, I can't purge that, so... Don't you miss purge when you haven't got it? Don't you miss it so much? I do. I don't know if you guys do, or maybe there's some people watching this who don't know why Purge is awesome. But you see this up here? You might be wondering what that notification is. That's my Tell Me When telling me. You can actually set Tell Me When just to magic. So does something gain something that's a magic debuff? And that means we can, some classes can dispel it. Not all, but some can dispel it. So you'll notice I'm being very, very cautious about positioning and stuff like this. Keep life tapping and you will die. It's like, dude, just don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, must have been on the very edge of that. But never mind. We managed to finish everything off. Our mage here, I don't know if he spell stealed that or it ran out. Our mage here could spell steal. So I'm not sure if anybody can poison the well. Let's see if anybody runs up to do it. What do you guys think? Do you think someone could do it? I don't think so. Okay, so I'm just going to pull the boss. Hopefully that didn't pull the trash. It didn't. Excellent. Okay, let's go. So it's only a +7. Hopefully it's going to be fine. I'm just watching the patrols and stuff. We've got ads coming in shortly, but we should be fine to pick those up. I'm going to save a blood boil for it. Save a blood boil for that. There's the thingy. What's it called? You know, jump. The jump thingy. Whatever it's called. Here come the ads. Cool. So we'll get our blood boils ready. That's why we save them, boys. So we can do this. And then pull them all in. Nice. Use a consumption here for just some cleave damage. And keep the boss relatively controlled. Yeah, he's going to run off there. So there's another ad. Did we get any more? We did. I thought when I saw that, that's not part of the normal trash. So let's pull these as well. Cool. Excellent. Now, we're actually going to pull this here. Because we're going to need some percentage. So I'm hoping they don't AoE down here. Let's watch. Ah, we're pulling more instead. Nice. Nice. Why let the tank pull? He probably doesn't know what's going on. It's the big mystery of all things. Trust me, I know what's happening. And you've bolstered the shit out of it. Like, why? I don't know, man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I mean, part of me thinks maybe I should be a little bit more vocal in pugs and stuff. To let people know what I'm doing, but sometimes no. I mean, how often are you going to do that, really, right? Oh, he's really trying to get that charging station off. He is really trying to get it off so he can heal up his buddy. He's down. Come on, let's focus this down. It's only got 100 million health left, boys. We got this. We got this. Oh, look at Tremble Before Me coming in strong then. You see that then? Tremble Before Me coming in strong. I like it. Oh, we can ignore charging station now. It's got nothing that it can heal, which is cool. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Death Strike. Now, Death Striking is something that's kind of hard, honestly, and maybe some Blood DKs will agree with this or disagree, but it's kind of hard to show somebody really good Death Striking stuff in a lot of content, because it's not until you do really hard content that you start getting stuff where your Death Strike matters, right? Like, Blood DKs in general become super geared, because of the nature of the class, right? It's about healing. Super geared very, very quickly to the point where they don't need a healer, right? Even in here, even in this, I know it's only a +7, but you understand that you don't really need a healer. So bolstering is actually quite cool for that, because people are going to bolster stuff, and from there we can work out what's happening. DPS here seems pretty solid, though. Pretty happy with that. A lot of people who are definitely into AoE. Oh, a Demonology Warlock. Look at this, boys. In the wild. 2K17. All good, man. All good. So we should get some cool Death Strikes. I actually did a couple then. So when you're Death Striking, obviously, it takes into account the damage you just took. Which means that, although you can, like, I think at an average level, what most Blood DKs do is, like, I have runic power, I should Death Strike, right? That's pretty much the thought process that goes into it. Which is obviously not correct if you want to play, like, full survivability. Like, if you have full runic, sure, go ahead. Well, like, what else are you going to use it on? But what you want to be watching for is the big damage. I'm going to pull this over here. Why do I do that? Just because that's the caster. And always, 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 if you can, grip the caster, not the melee mob. Because once you aggro the caster and the caster comes up to you, that's when you're more than ready. That's what the caster will come to you and he'll do his casting jazz. That's cool. But what you actually want... I want these imps. What you actually want is the melee mob to run over. Because they're just trying to hit you with melee, right? Pretty simple stuff. Let's AMS this, just in case the fireballs go off. I don't want to use my Blood Elf sounds here. AMS, just soak all that up. Good. Good, 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 good. What you actually want is to make sure the caster mob is in the cleave. So a big part of tanking, and something I always try and teach people, is doing the best you can for your DPSs. I don't think anywhere near enough DPS appreciate a tank who's... So we want to line of sight this stuff. I'm just setting up the position, so if they know to line of sight, they can do. Yep, see our rep pally knows what to do here. Always worth watching that. Like, who actually knows what's going on here? It doesn't matter if they're doing good DPS, but who actually knows what the fuck is happening? It's way more important, right? Who actually knows what's going on? And you can tell when things like that. But that doesn't mean a whole lot. The other guys might be like, it's a +7. This ain't going to kill me. In a million years, this shit ain't going to happen. Pull this guy out of the way so he doesn't have the buff. Good, good, good. Try and set our feet. But tanking's not just about surviving. It never has been, never will be. It's about making sure not only are you surviving, but also you're controlling the run in such a way that your DPS is as good as it can be. That's a tanking responsibility. And I think it should be important. So hopefully I'm going to highlight that happening. Even just very, very simple stuff that a lot of seasoned Blood DKs probably don't even realize they do, because they learned to do it a very long time ago. Is just to plan ahead. Like, what am I gripping here? Well, of course I'm gripping the caster, because that means the melee mob will run to me. If I grip the melee mob, then the caster would stand still, and I'd have bad AoE, and I'd have to run over to the caster and try and interrupt it, or I'd have to rely on the mage, who I don't know if he has interrupt bound, to do those things for me. Instead of just making the simple decision, well, I could just grip the fucking... you know what I mean? I could just grip the caster, and then we wouldn't have that trouble. And buffs off. Good. Yeah, little things like that, because what I'm trying to make sure that our DPS is as best it can be, and you'll find that out particularly if you move up to raiding, if you've never raided properly, or raided as a tank, is the tanks are always the first to hear from DPS who aren't happy with what the fuck they're doing. Like, this is no good. This is no good at all. You need to be like, why are you spreading this out? Like, why are you moving things out of, say... You guys killed that? Yeah. Why are you moving this outside of my fucking blizzard or whatever, right? Why are you doing that? Because that sucks. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that, because I'm trying to do the... My job here as a DPS is to do the best DPS I can do, and if you're not tanking correctly, I can't do that, and therefore I'm angry about it. So that's all good. We're probably not going to get these super bolstering moments, so I was hoping to pop some cooldowns, but such is life. I mean, maybe in general, you guys let me know. Do you want me to do just generally higher ones? It's entirely up to you. I don't mind either way. And got him. There you go. Just making sure that buffs off. So if you don't know why we do this, and you have to be quite far away. If this boss that's waiting there when we pull these ads away, I think I can avoid that shockwave, can't I? That boss puts out an aura that buffs. Can I move out of the way of this? Yeah. Cool. Nice. So if you try and kill these too close to the boss, then they will just have like huge health, huge damage. If you want to test it, just run in and see what happens. If you want to see what it's like, just run in and see what happens. So let's pull this in here. Again, this is part of control. Some tanks will just stay there, but what am I thinking here? I want to enclose people as much as possible. It's going to keep the imps together. Now, this guy's bothering me, this mage, right? I kind of want to line of sight him intentionally. Because Infernal Eruption's coming in, he's going to drop an Infernal there. So what I would suggest, just from this knowledge, not that it matters in this run, I'm going to grip it in, is that our friend there, I'm going to use a Consumption for big AoE damage. Our mage friend doesn't really know what's going on here, or doesn't care, but I'm going to go with the latter because it would improve his damage to actually group these up. So let's pull the rest of these, because we need percentage, boys. Yep, gotta get that sweet, sweet percentage, yo. Gotta get that sweet, sweet percentage. Oh, no one's noticed. And you know who was here? The healer and the fucking mage. Of all the people, the mage knows he's Mythic Plus for sure. I'm guessing, of course. I could be totally fucking wrong. And this mage actually might be super baller, and he's like, I don't give a shit if we pull trash or whatever. I know in this position I'm not going to pull trash. You guys have to bear that in mind, but you're trying to make judgments so you can make it the best for your group, right? That's all you're trying to do. You're trying to make the best possible decisions for your group, and nothing more, nothing less. Our Warlock's still not noticed, or he's like dead somewhere. I don't know what our Warlock's up to, but he's nearly dead. He's very nearly dead. How do you die in the room where you're checking people out? That's kind of interesting. So my Grievous is building up now. So I'm going to counter that by using Vamp and just Death Striking myself straight back to full health. So my healer's not going to be too stressed out. Oh, he's got Grievous, of course. Yeah, I didn't think about that. So our Warlock probably life tapped. That's what's happened here. Our Warlock is running there, life tapping to get back to full mana because he thinks, hey, we're out of combat. No big deal. Don't run off yet. We still need more. We still need more. You guys are blind. We gotta get that percentage, boys, or we don't win. If we don't do it, we don't win. We need to win. If we don't win, we're fucked. So a lot of fireballs. I'm going to AMS this one, so I don't take any damage. Good, 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 good. And there we go. Percentage. All good. Easy peasy. It's a light vest! I've told you 20 times it's a light vest. So that might have cost us the timer. Maybe. So lesson learned in a pug is... I don't pug tank very often, as you can probably imagine. Long sleeves. I think they already said that. What do we got? Long sleeves. A cape. A light vest. Alright. Let's have a look. No sleeves. It's not you. I bet most of you guys have never seen anybody try and figure this out. Long sleeves. Was it a dark vest? Light vest. No good. Long sleeves, light vest. What else? A cape. Do you have a cape? He does have a cape. He's winning. Do we have potions? Gloves. Oh, he's already got it. Man, you had the gloves clue too early, bro. Too early. Easy. 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 Good man. I've got to say on my blood DK, okay, let's address some of the feedback then. So I talked earlier that like some people were unhappy with talent builds and stuff. And that some people had the confidence finally to be like, oh, have I gone the wrong way? No, I haven't. To decide what talents are best for them. I mean, I had it. I tank killed Jaden twice now on this guy. First time I did it with Rune Tap because I was really undergeared. Then I got a few more upgrades on this guy and then I was like, you know what? I'm cool with Foul Bulwark. I can reset my Vampiric Blood with Red Thirst, so I'm more than happy just to have Vamp up for each and every single one of the Fell Claws, and that made it a lot more fun because I just had generally more HP for the fight as well, so it just worked out really nicely. It's nice to be able to make those decisions yourself. But I did talk about talents that are pretty much considered dead, and a lot of confusion arose is like, are you recommending them? Which I never did, obviously. No, not at all, but I'm just making people aware of what their class can do. It actually came in really handy. I know someone in the comments was whinging about me talking about March of the Damned, an ability that recently caused a huge amount of trouble on Mythic. Which is exactly that scenario. Those DKs were able to go, I can deal with this. And that led to huge issues in Mistress, which was kind of cool. It actually got fixed, but that's the kind of thing I want people to be aware of. Even if this talent's considered garbage, like Mark and Tombstone, I still want you to know what it does. Is it generally the best, or is it ever going to be used? Maybe not now, but if there's a patch tomorrow, I don't want people to be lost. I want people to be able to go, okay, I know what this is about. I see what they've done there. That's kind of interesting. I know what it means to me if they've nerfed Red Thirst, or buffed Mark of Blood, or buffed Tombstone. That's all I'm saying there. I want people to be way more aware of their own class and its own abilities than anything else. Cool tip, though, I didn't talk about this earlier on, was Dancing Rune Weapon. If you Dancing Rune Weapon and Marrowrend, all 3 hits of Marrowrend hit, and you go straight to 10. So I still have Dancing Rune Weapon up. So this is... I need him to hit me more, which he's not going to do, is he? No, this guy hits really fucking weak. Considering he's in this one, anyway. Boom, but you see that one Marrowrend just took me straight back to 10. Great way of starting a fight. Really cool. Really, really cool that you can do that. I have to say... My Blood DK has just been one of my, I think this and Vengeance, just the way they play and the way things work with them has just been so fun. Just move this guy back into here. Nice gap there to stand in. As this and the Vengeance Demon Hunter have been surprisingly popular in my own gameplay. That's why I spent the last couple of weeks playing around with the Blood Demon Hunter. And just the Blood Demon Hunter, it's a new spec, don't worry about it. The Blood DK, because I've just had a joy in it. That's why I've like done more tomb runs on it than maybe just going strictly for classes or whatever. And just had an absolute blast doing it. I'm currently looking to get an Unholy Lego. Oh, +2. Yeah. Not a surprise, really. Some Arcane Pants. Anybody want? Maybe. I don't know. Uhun, do you need the pants? Anyone want... What do they get? Anyone want these? It's been so fun. I hope you guys pick it up. I really do hope you guys pick it up. And have some fun with it as well. And don't read too much into the end game right now. What I want you to do is get used to doing stuff like this, yeah? See you guys. What I want you to get into is doing stuff like this. Like being the confidence is the big one. Being the confidence to jump into a pug and have some good fun. And just have that experience of tanking it, not worrying about it, how to assess a group very quickly. And work out what the best decisions are for your group. Yeah, the Blood DK. I hope you had a great Saturday, guys. Thank you for sticking with me through this. I hope you had fun. Nothing particularly crazy happened there, other than not noticing. I think Moondan was a little bit worried, although he turned out to be the best DPS with the old Demonology spec out in the wild there, but there you go. All right, guys. Peace out, and I'll see you again. We'll do a video like this for every class. All right? Bye-bye.